Well, we are back, folks, and this is gonna be a quote-unquote behind the scenes to what you guys are gonna see tomorrow. So I am recording a raw file here in Studio One. I'm recording a raw file, so you can see the mic is just coming straight in because it's pulling from there. And then I have the loop back coming back in here, which is just this matrice, which goes out of 3 and 4 and just back into 7 and 8 as a loop back, so I can get the X32 processing, because I am currently doing gating and EQ on here, just to pull it back in to see what it does. So this will be a POV view of what's going to be going on tomorrow, besides from, you know, the actual camera timing and stuff, which I'm planning to just download like a timer app or whatnot. That I'll start when I start the recording, and then I'll time up the camera to that. The shenanigans still recording? Yes, it is. Needles. I was thinking about needles, but I don't really have needles, so we'll see how good of a job this can do. Oh, I'm an amateur ASMR artist, okay? Don't crush me. Well, I'm back. It's quote unquote a few hours later or something. She's 3:40 and I've been sitting there listening back to my ASMR. First of all, I found out that everything I've been listening back in Fubar, I've been listening back in mono. Because my blumpnäs did not read the tiny text below here that said FC for front center. Why was it in the mono, you may ask? Well, because I forgot that I had kinda yeeted my own ass. Cause instead of downmix channels to mono being under the available DSP, it was underneath active DSP. So literally everything I've been listening back in Fubar has been downmixed to mono. How haven't I picked up on this sooner just by listening? Because usually when I listen back in Fubar, it's either just audio recordings, like general just audio messages or whatnot, or it's actual music. And when I listen back music when I'm playing games or just chilling and I'm using my headset, I have surround DST on. You don't notice it as well then, but when you deliberately have an ASMR which when left triggers and right triggers interchanged and is in both ears at the same time, then there's obviously something that's fucked here now. I can also upmix to 5.1 and 7.1. Now, technically speaking, to be honest, well, for ASMR, it doesn't really matter, but I could add per se no. I believe there was a way you could move that like up into the DSP thing there. Yeah, this is the resampler. Technically speaking, so there's the resampler and it says to 4800, so we should be fine. Because basically what I was trying to do was do 44, what the fuck is the other one, 44.5 kilohertz / 48,000 hertz, and try to upmix it to 192 hertz. So like you say, my latency in inside of Fubar is quite a bit better, we could say. So yeah, but at least well, supposedly I have a stereo and mono chain preset per se. Supposedly, technically speaking, we could save this, but well, anywho, my point though, those are in mono or it's in stereo now, and I've been listening it back, and I think we've gotten her pretty good dial back. You can also maybe notice my system here is a bit quieter. Well, let's just say my gosh darn GTX 980 fan kept spinning at like 1100 RPM. And for some odd reason, this card is currently refusing to quote-unquote go into 0 dB mode. Now, of course, I'm doing this to so I have to burner. If I did it through the WindForce software, it would maybe work and go into silence, but to be honest, I just manually set her as far down on the fan as I could and just left her there. So here we are. But yes, the system is already quieter. And supposedly, meanwhile, I'm just recording multi-track. I suppose I could maybe turn down my case fans to 25. To be honest. It's my radiator fans that are the loudest, to be honest. And you know, I could have turned the radiator fans, you know, pretty much all the way down to 25. well, 25 on the bottom, 50 on the top, or 0 on the bottom and 25 on the top, depending. If it wasn't for me pretty much having overclocked the snot out of my 3700, but I have, I'm running 1.48 volts at 4.6 gig. Why? Because I need all the fucking performance I can squeeze out of this thing. So yeah, so that's kind of where we are. So I think we have dialed things pretty much back. Pretty much what I ended up having to do is that I need to dial it back, and I also noticed that the gate, quote unquote, acted a little more comprehensive, is that the word, when I unlinked the two channels. So it almost seems like the gate or expander, when two channels is linked, it's almost like it takes the sum of those two channels and then do the actual expander instead of doing each channel individually. So I split the channels up into two, and I made a mute group for muting both at the same time. And I did the same with the, or I didn't make a mute group, but I also unlinked the left and right ASMR mix bus, so that way I can send my left and right individually to those two. And that has sorted quite a lot of my issues with noise. And there again, also shutting off that laptop, so that thing is pretty much not, so that one is not screaming fucking suffocating, quote unquote, over there while I'm recording, also drastically helped. And I must actually be honest to you, it is surprisingly quiet in here. I thought I heard a fan over here. Well, yeah, the little bit of fan noise I hear is from the fan in these lungs. But well, those lungs are gonna be easy pretty much. It's just to cut power really, or really, technically speaking, it's just to quote unquote go over into DMX mode and that thing and call it a day. Which I'll probably do anyway, so that one ain't standing there quote unquote burning its LED out, even though they're not really hot because they're running at like, they can go up to 255 because colored values, RGB values can go to 255. And currently they're set at 50, around the RNG, or red and green if you will, is set to 50, and the white is set to, none are you set to? White is set to 30. So it's not exactly blasting. That would be plenty of light. I may turn up the whites maybe to 40, so I get a little more white light, because I want to have, you know, a pretty accurate representation of what I have, but I also don't want to go just full white, because I don't want to quote unquote blend the people watching either. So I want to have a little bit of a mix of red and green in there, which then makes yellow, and then together with the white, and try to get a white but also a little bit of a warmer white, and not just blinding ass fucking 4000K fucking blind you fucking pupils per se. So that's how we're going as far as the lightning situation go. But I must say, even though it's jank, I really like the quote unquote flying bar slash truss I made. A fucking zip tied power bar on there, and just slunky honk hang up with fucking rope. Ah, you gotta love it. So yeah, so to be honest, I don't even know which video is what video. I was trying to sort it, but at least there's not that many we have now, which is not edited, so I'll probably since these aren't going to be coming out before in a while, I'm probably going to hold up with these pretty much from now on, besides from like the unboxing of some ESL per se partnership products with Razer. I don't really have much I'm gonna unbox. So besides from that unboxing per se, and some other stuff I believe I have on the way, I really ain't gonna be recording much more, and I'm still debating about how I'm gonna record ASMR tomorrow, because what I'm actually thinking is first check my S22, since pretty much in the recording mode, when they're recording 4K 60 FPS, they're recording pretty much the same rate. The S20 may look a tad sharper per se, but my plan is that if Cat comes over, my plan is to take and use the S20 with the SD card in it to record the opening of the per se tapping and triggers and showing the work phone off, or what has been the work phone for now, and what was the past work phone before I did repairs to this thing, which is J5. I can't show the OS on that one because obviously it doesn't have anything installed on it, but I can show the case at least. And this one, and then the S10, which is Cat phone, because she's gonna bring that one over. And then I'm gonna pop that SD card into her phone, because that phone can also record 4K 60. And I'm gonna use that phone to record the quote-unquote showing off that phone, my current phone, and cover. And then I'm gonna go back onto the S22, and I'm gonna use the S22 to record the next section of the video. And then after that section of the video, I'm gonna go back to the S10 when we're gonna do the smart switch between the S22 and the S20 and the S22. So per se, movie law, or per se camera logistics, is gonna be a heckle and a half tomorrow, but here we are. I suppose that's just a part of production, ain't it? So yeah, so that's kind of where we are. So I want to say thank you guys for watching. But Nikolai taking our ally per se, she's 353. I'm gonna listen to quote-unquote some ASMR other people has made, and then I'm gonna dunk in bed and probably set an early alarm on him, because well, he said he would knock on if I wasn't awake. He was gonna hold on a little bit, but pretty much that one per se concrete drilling guy, and about those gosh darn fucking water pipes, well, he's gonna drill quote-unquote the hole into my apartment and the other hole going into my bathroom tomorrow. So really I wanna be awake by then, or at least have... I'm gonna bring my per se air protection per se into the bedroom. So if the fucker suddenly starts drilling tomorrow, not necessarily in my room, but because I know he has one apartment downstairs to take. So depending on when I wake up, I'll probably throw those on. And quote-unquote, if I wake up by him drilling downstairs, I suppose I'll just wake up. I suppose I could make it into the coffee maker. So that way when that guy comes up, I already have my smacks on, I have my coffee, and be like, well, I got my coffee, you want some coffee? Well, we're ready to go. So yeah. So that's kind of where we are. There's the S10 box and the S20 box. I'm going to be showing those two boxes off, to showing what the other phones has been coming in. And then I'll show off the actual phones, and then we'll get to the actual unboxing of the S22, which is gonna be quote-unquote the most ASMR-y part per se, because it actually, that's the part that's gonna involve the most tapping, cutting of seal, taking it up, removing the actual plastic off of the phone, booting it for the first time, all that shenanigan. So, yeah, so thanks for watching, stay tuned, stay awesome, and Nikolai out.